Politicians, when I appear in a rally, anyone can heckle me, but you cannot heckle me. You cannot engage in what the law calls a colloquy with me. You cannot engage in a discussion or argumentation with me. I'm the judge. I preside here. How many years have you been in trial practice, counsel?
42 years.
And
Your
what
Honor.
have you specialized in? Is it not true that you specialize in maritime law?
In everything, Your Honor.
What an impertinent answer. Let me go to the point, because I might lose my temper with you. Ngayon, sinasabi mo na you are accusing the respondent under the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. I have here before me a copy of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. It enumerates what are the acts which establish graft and corruption. Show me or read to me which of this particular listing under the law you are accusing, under which of this listing are you accusing the respondent of graft and corruption? Dahil dito merong A, B, C, D, E hanggang K. I'm talking about Section 3 of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. Number 3, Section 3, Corrupt Practices of Public Officers. O ngayon, turo mo, saan dyan? From letter A to letter K.
Directly, letter C. Can I read?
Yes, please.
Directly or indirectly requesting or receiving any gift, which includes discount.
Will you please stop
Present.
emphasizing your words like this? It startles everybody.
I'll just read softly, Your Honor.
Good, thank you.
Directly or indirectly requesting or receiving any gift, present, or other pecuniary or material benefit for himself or for another from any person for whom the public officer in any manner or capacity has secured or obtained or will secure or obtain any government permit or license in consideration for the help given or to be given without prejudice to Section 13 of this Act. Letter D also, Your Honor, accepting or having any member of his family accept employment in a private enterprise which has pending official business with him during dependency thereof or within 1 year after its termination. And most especially letter E, causing any undue injury to any party, including the government, or giving any private party any unwarranted benefits, advantage, or preference in the discharge of his official, administrative, or judicial functions through manifest partiality, evident bad faith, or gross inexcusable negligence. This provision shall apply to officers and employees of offices of government corporations charged with the grant of licenses or permits or other concessions. And letter F also, most especially, neglecting or refusing after due demand or request without sufficient justification to act within a reasonable time on any matter pending before him for the purpose of obtaining directly or indirect, directly or indirectly from any person interested in the matter some pecuniary or material benefit or advantage, or for the purpose of favoring his own interests or giving undue advantage in favor of or discriminating against any other interested party. And Section 7, Your Honor, in relation to Section 9B, if the good Senator will allow the reading, Section 7 every public officer within 30 days after assuming office and thereafter.
Ay, hindi yun.
On or before.
Excuse me, anti-graft and corrupt practices ang pagtatanong natin
I'm
dito.
reading Section 7 of the Anti-Graft Law, Your Honor.
No, that is statement of assets and liabilities. Hindi yan nakalista dito sa Section 3. Sinabi ko na, Section 3 tayo eh. In-enumerate corrupt practices of public officers. Ayan, sinabi ko na, merong letter A to letter K. Kaya mamili ka dyan sa kursunada mo kung anong pagbibintang mo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pero huwag kang lumampas sa Section 3.
I have read them already, Your Honor.
Oh, you read it out already?
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, those are your allegations against the respondent in violation of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. Counsel, I'm holding before you your own verified complaint for impeachment. I go to page 11. It is entitled Grounds for Impeachment. It begins with Article 1 and ends with Article 8. Pakita mo sa akin, saan dito? Sa Article 1 hanggang Article 8. Itong mga provision na binasa mo ngayon sa Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act.
Only ultimate facts, with all due respect, need to be alleged. Because
Do not lecture me on what is the rules of court. You are again engaging in a colloquy. Answer me. Saan dito? Sa grounds for impeachment.
I believe the best evidence would be the complaint, and we leave it to the Senate to
Good.
interpret.
Now let's move on. Ngayon, we have allowed you to introduce in evidence, and I supported this controversial move to introduce in testimony the Internal Revenue Commissioner plus her documents that she will attest to, even if it is not strictly within the words, the literal words of the Article 2, which speaks only of the failure to file the SALN. Pero hindi bali, sige. Sige lang tayo. Ngayon, pinagtatanong ko sa iyo, saan dito sa listahan ng Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act ang iyong grounds for impeachment? Dahil kailangan, pag may complaint ka, ilista mo lahat ng krimen na pinagdidemanda mo sa respondent mo. Dahil kung wala yan dyan, hindi ka pwede magbigay ng ebidensya tungkol sa krimen kung hindi mo muna amendahin o palitan ang iyong complaint. That is the gist of my line of questioning. Ngayon, wala dito sa grounds for impeachment mo. Kaya you cannot introduce evidence about the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. Instead, what you are doing, counsel, is you are invoking the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, Section 8, which is not among the list of corrupt practices. Instead, it is a peculiar law of evidence. In fact, it should be included as an amendment to the law on evidence because Section 8 is subtitled Prima facie Evidence of and Dismissal Due to Unexplained Wealth. So what you are actually referring to when you say in your complaint that you are charging a certain offense in connection with the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act is not that you are charging the respondent with a specific act of corruption as enumerated in Section 3, but that you are invoking a presumption that is laid down in Section 8. And this is only a presumption because the title is Prima facie Evidence. Ngayon, ang pagtatanong ko sa iyo ay ganito. Ang pinag-uusapan natin sa iyong Article 2 ay failure to file SALN. Ano ba ngayon ang batas na ini-invoke mo? Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act at wala kang napatunay na may krimen doon na nakalista doon sa act na yun? Or are you, on the contrary, and I'm already trying to help you to the best of my ability, are you, on the contrary, invoking the Republic Act, entitled for short, the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards, because that is where we find the requirement that every public official shall file a SALN. And if he does not do so accurately, he will be penalized. Kaya mamili ka.
Answer. Both, Your Honor.
That's always a safe answer in an exam. Unfortunately, this is not a theoretical exam. Ngayon, hindi bali na. Payagan pa rin kita.
Thank you,
You are
Your
invoking
Honor.
this presumption. Now, I will now turn to the witness. Witness, you have been called here in your capacity as an attesting or authenticating official. not in your capacity as an expert witness. That was established yesterday afternoon. Do you understand what I am saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. If you recall, I emphasized this point yesterday because the main difference between an ordinary witness and an expert witness is this. An expert witness is allowed to testify on his opinion. He is allowed to sway the jury or the judge by what he says because he is an expert. But we already clarified yesterday, you are not called here as an expert witness, but simply as an attesting officer. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
I ask this, please do not feel insulted, simply so that we will know whether you understand the terms that sometimes we have a predilection for inside the courtroom. So, yesterday, you were not drawing any conclusions or expressing any opinions, were you? You were only presenting documents and you were saying, these are the documents that are on file in the Bureau of Internal Revenue.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you in any way implying or saying that any of those entries in the documents that you brought with you were stating falsities or were stating the truth? Did you imply any truth or falsehood with respect to those entries? Or did you just testify that these are the entries as they are reflected in our records?
I testified as to these are the entries submitted